Hey guys, welcome to the Discovery Workshop. As you know, Career Bootcamp has been divided into four parts, and I am very excited to bring you Discovery Workshop, which will, allow you to discover what is the right thing for you to do when you're progressing on your career path. Um, Let me start with sharing my screen, and I invite you to express what is it that brings you to the career boot camp, what is it that you want to achieve in this career boot camp. So I'm enabling annotation. As soon as I enable annotation, you can actually go on your screen on the top. You can start writing, and just you can actually do a freehand writing, mostly not very useful. So you go and you click text, and then from there you can have a text box. So just start sharing what are you here for, like. And you don't have to you know share something that is not of your interest. You can change color here, so that your point is separately visible. Do not step over each other's content which is written there.
So Deepti, there is a question from Steve, like where do we click, on this text?
So on your top, you will have a view button, I guess.
Okay.
From yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you then you look at the annotation and you click on annotation. From there, you can actually start writing,
Okay.
and you
All
use text in the annotation tray. You will see mouse, select, draw, and everything. You click text. From
okay.
there, you can actually start writing. Someone else can also help better because I'm sharing screen, so I can be wrong in terms of, yeah, like I
No,
could see.
Deepti, it's exactly what you are saying.
Mm.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. So I think we are very low on expectations. um, Let me just read them out quickly. And hey, I am here to learn from the industry experts as well as have some crisp takeaways, experience with you all. This is my first Agility Today workshop and looking forward to put my queries regarding the. Okay, guys, if you can just move your content away from each other. I'm here to understand various streams in Agile coaching. Uh, I want to be Scrum Master but don't have any work experience. I guess you are saying, as a Scrum Master, I'm here to understand how Agile practitioners can stay relevant for long term. And these are all the questions for the experts, Steve, Brijesh, Yogita, and Sandeep. Yes, I'm here to learn and know what is new in the industry, which can help me grow. Perfect. I'm Sonia, and I am here to learn from all fellow Agilists what's hot and trending. Awesome. Me too, actually. And then I see there are some questions as well. Uh, I don't have annotations option when I click view. Uh, Maybe you can put your question actually in the chat, and one of us will post here.
Even Steve has done the same, Deepti.
Yeah. So, okay, I think these are good options. Let me quickly, what is the different track? tracks one can choose in agility today? Uh, oh, that's a very interesting question, actually. So, this year with agility today, what we have done is we haven't kept tracks. We have broken down all our sessions into, uh, spreading them over various days in the month of February. You can check that on our website. When we close this event, we will send you URL for our website. If I have to quickly show you the website, this is where we are. And let me just clear, you know, all of this. So you see, here is the unconference. And if we go further down on this page, uh, this is the program that you have. So there are different sessions. One is focused on agile coaching, another is on product management, then the next one on agile marketing. Next to it is on change agents, change pattern, how they drive change. It's not just about agile, any change agent, which means managers, leaders, everyone. Then we have agile HR. After that, we have future of work with Mary and Tom Pupendik. Then we have agile sales. Uh, then a session for managers in the agile organization. So these are the sessions. There are other sessions which are coming from dynamic program, about which you will get to know uh, actually probably tomorrow itself. So yeah. Okay, so I am disabling annotation, and let's go on to this session. And so Mary's question, the last one is, where is my career going, and how can the strategic and intentional my career, and understand how I can be strategic and intentional in my steps? Beautiful. So this session will not give you any agile gyan. I will be more talking about how we can discover what is important for you, for all of us. So first thing first, I want you to not think about anything without any constraints. Just, take good 2 minutes. I'm not going to disturb you over these 2 minutes, and write down in your notepad, what is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want in your life? And this can be as simple as, I want a job that pays me uh, 2000 USD per day, and I get to work. I mean, I have to work only 2 days a week, and I want four such engagements, and then I want to just travel and chill. Or you can write, I want to get married this year, and I want a partner with whom I can share my aspirations and continue feeling motivated in my life. Or you can say, I really need good work life balance such that I have enough time with my family. So you write everything. It's not just about your career, it's about you as a person and your aspirations. So take 2 minutes and write it down.
Did you want to write us here by using an annotate method or a separate text file we find?
In your notepad.
Notepad.
If
Okay.
you're comfortable sharing, well and good.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. So have you written all of that?
Yes.
Perfect. Um, so now that you have written what all you want, I can see a question in the chat. Perfect. There is a yes. So then let's talk about, whenever we say we want something, Nitin, you can actually remove, your annotation. Don't write anymore on the annotation. Is that okay? Now we all are taking notes uh, in our personal notebooks.
Yeah, Aditya.
Yeah. So now, but then there is always a but. I mean, wherever we think, we want a 2 days working job that pays per day 2000 USD, they're like, oh my God, who's going to give us this job? In India, there is no such market, or in Nigeria, there is no such market. Or I want to travel abroad, but there is COVID and visa might be a problem. My company won't send me. So there is always a but. We want something, but there is always a but. So now take another section in your notebook and start writing your buts. I am not qualified enough. Nobody is going to pay me. I am not fitting into the system. I am not technical enough. How will I learn technology? Please start writing all of that, or anything that comes to your mind. I have to, pay the home loan, and how can I save money for travel? Or I want to be a singer, but that won't pay me enough. Anything that comes to your mind. So put everything that's your butt. And then we talk about but, and these probably anyone who is doing well can say, oh, these are all excuses. So then there are some real life constraints, like EMI that you have to pay, the mortgage that you have to pay. You have small children. So you start putting all those logical, rational constraints that you see and which are not, nobody is going to say, okay, that's also an excuse. No, that's not an excuse. So start putting all your real life constraints you see, uh, just start putting them in your sheet. So what do we have with us right now is what we want, anything and everything that we want, and not just about career, personal aspiration, whatever we want. And then we have all the buts, all rational, realistic constraints that we see will stop us. And when we see all of this, how do you feel right now at the Agile Career Bootcamp? Is it empowering?
So it's matching what we want and where we think we are constant. We never give it a thought, right?
Yeah. So I'm sure, I mean, how does it feel? Does it feel empowering, or does it feel, discouraging or encouraging? How do you feel about it when you are listing all of this down?
Empowering plus enlightening.
How the constraints are empowering?
So yes, I now understand what are my constants and I can work on them.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So then, there is one more thing that I want you to reflect, and which is the treasure within you. And when I say treasure within you, what do you mean by treasure within you? Can anyone give example of treasure within you?
It's treasure is all the skills that we have, right? All the mindset and all the things that we have achieved till date. So everything is within us. We just need to explore it and bring it out, if I understand correctly.
Yes,
Maybe
exactly.
something unique skills
Yeah. For
which we
example,
don't expose to others. Okay, which we keep to ourselves. Okay,
yes,
that only unique skill will be known by us. Okay, so we use it whenever it's required. Topmost.
yes, absolutely. You are so right. So, when you talk about these skills, are there also skills that others appreciate in you, but you are like they're useless? For example, if you are a project manager and you can also really sing well, so will you consider singing well as a treasure within, or you will be like, oh, that's not treasure? We are right now talking about project management. How do you feel about that? Do you have that treasure also with you? And are you putting that in your list or not?
Yeah, I think in IT world, okay, everyone has a treasure. Okay, we know how to get done the last minute work. Okay, being a developer, a tester, or a project manager. Okay, we have a schedule. Okay, but the thing is, we don't go as per a schedule. Okay, we have the deadlines. Okay, last 2-3 days. Okay, that will be as per the engineering exams what we do.
Right. So my request to you is, don't just, stop yourself at the work. Please start writing all that treasure which is there in you, and which you don't very much value, and you don't think that will help you with your job.
If the project manager really sings, he can entertain his team and he can motivate them by their singing. That's the way.
Yeah, that's the way actually. Or even if project manager doesn't value, let's put out the treasure, which is there in us. And then if you find it very difficult, ask your friends, what is it that is valuable in you? Because a lot of time we don't value something that's inside us. A friend of mine is extremely creative, but this friend does not value that creativity at all, because this friend always thinks about how can I be, better scrum master. My drawings are not going to help. But hello, there is this huge world outside for visual thinking. A tiny story about myself. I started my career, and for 10 years of my career, I was, software engineer, then, the regular growth path, senior software engineer, team lead, project lead, and all of that. Now, my heart was not in core technology. It was really stressful for me, to catch up with the constant change in the technology. And to me, the obvious career growth looked like to become a manager or senior manager and become director and then have a Mercedes, and you know uh, but if I talk about my skill set, I was really good with the coordination, collaboration, co-creation. And I used to work at messaging oriented middleware. That was messaging hub, secure, insecure, all sort of file transfer, message transfer, real time transfer used to happen at our end. And so all the work required a lot of coordination with a lot of stakeholders. And later, I also became a project manager. And then from there, I moved on to being Scrum Master. So when I was transiting between roles, I was first working on JMS based messaging brokers and queues. Then I was working on file transfer, customer connectivity, and secure transfer. Then I was working as a project manager. So, I felt, what am I doing? I'm switching between things, and, in the search of finding something worth my time and something that interests me, and, worth my life working on it. But then my friends, my colleagues who valued me, other managers who valued me, always said that, you're really good with the coordination. You really make those projects work where a lot of vendor management, a lot of service license, management is required. And why do you not take up project management or stuff like that? I wasn't very much willing. I was so hung on to the teams I was working with. I wanted to be their manager, but I get to still be just, module lead, team lead. Manager was the next step. So yes, I mean, I didn't listen to them. I felt, yeah, I'm not doing anything great. That work never looked of any value to me. I felt like if I fail at this point, then maybe I can take that up. And then, I really got a very good advice from a senior manager who wasn't my manager. He said, why do you always have to look at where you are? Why do you not go and look out? I said, how? He said, there are meetups. I said, what is meetup? They said, yeah, just go and look for meetup.com and search for whatever you're looking at. At that time, I was struggling to learn more about Agile and Scrum because my organization was just moving on that path. And I got a lot of help, a lot of information. First meetup, I go and meet so many people. And then, I didn't stop there. Then I started talking to these people. I got to know, names. I got to know like Steve, Sandeep, Yogita, and I started talking to these people. How are you doing? What are you doing? So we should not stop. So can you all, think of those people, with whom you can connect probably after this event. And in fact, Agility Today provides you many such wonderful people whom you can reach out, who are full of inspiration, ideas, knowledge. So can you do that? Because if you had to find something valuable within that circle, you would have. So these friends, they can always show you the treasure that's there within, which you don't value, which you don't find as a treasure, but they can't tell you what you should do, what you can do. They can always tell you, go become a project manager, but probably you don't want to be a project manager and you want to run conferences and you want to learn from the best of the minds in the world, and not just in your office, or in your country. Maybe you want to travel the world for conferences and for creating content in the technology space and in the uh, project management or ways of working space. And so you need to look outside. And then when you look outside, don't hesitate. You just cannot sit there and listen to them and become something. You have to start asking for more help. You have to reach out to them, and a lot of them will say no, and that's totally cool. So I want you all to also list down the people you want to meet. Don't worry, you don't have to go and meet them, but you can write down, whom you want to meet. In my list, I always had Rajiv Gandhi. Those of you who are not from India and don't know who is Rajiv Gandhi, he was our ex-prime minister. He is no more. And so, but he was in my list, and that's unrealistic. But let's say I wanted to meet Lisa Atkin, I wanted to meet Esther Derby, I wanted to meet Steve, I wanted to meet Sandeep, and I have met all of them. I reached out and they didn't say no. But now I also reached out to a bunch of other people and they said no, and that's okay. But had I have stopped, I wouldn't even have met the people whom I just named. And so, my request to you, do not freak out. Introverts really find it difficult to reach out and meet people. Not all of them, but some of them. A lot of us extroverts also hesitate because we don't have anything to offer them in return. So we feel like, how can we just go and ask them and meet them, right? So my request to you, at least prepare a list of people you want to meet and talk to in your industry or anywhere you have seen. And if you want more inspiration, you actually have to look out. You have to go out. You have to find out who are these people. I knew zero people in agile industry, honestly. All I knew was my organization was going agile, and uh, so I went for a CSM training. I don't even remember the name of CST who conducted this training because I never kept in touch with him. But after that, there was no looking back. I went for CSPO, then CSD. I wanted to understand and learn these things. What is it? What is the difference between them? And then I realized this is a lot of money. I can't keep on paying so much money. And so I went to so many meetups. They were all free. There was very rich content. They were wonderful people. And I started maintaining my list. Initially, it was, I'll be honest, very scary. I felt, oh my God, I know nothing. I know nobody. And more importantly, nobody knows me. I can't live like that. People have to know me. And so I just started maintaining this list. I started writing to a bunch of people. I didn't write to a lot of them because I was scared. I was like, I have nothing to offer. How can I just go and tell them that I want to meet you, and they'll be like, okay, fine, meet me, then what? And then nothing, I just want to meet you. So I stopped there. But now I think I have mostly met all of them who were in my list, except for those who are no more. So ask for help, don't hesitate. So the next step is invest in yourself. So now you list down all the trainings that you want to take up. Even if you don't want to take up training, you can write down everything that you want to do. For example, how to build an awesome CI/CD pipeline. What are the distinctions when you are building a CI/CD pipeline for different applications and technology platforms? Or how do you better understand people, leadership? What is it that's out there? The coaching? What is coaching? The psychology? Oh, I want to become a PhD in psychology. So invest in yourself. Find out what are the best of the courses. You don't necessarily have to go for what is out there. There is a lot on Udemy, Udacity, all these online training providers. Just check things there. And these are not certification trainings, but these are really rich in content and not very expensive. So invest in yourself. So my dear folks, I think that's pretty much of it, which I had to present to you. There is something else which is again very, very, very important. When you do all of this and yet you don't feel accomplished, uh, probably the problem can be you're not going for what you want. For example, you are not valuing your singing or your dancing or your drawing or sketching or talent, or your aspiration to spend more time with your family, your aspiration to see beyond what's there in your constraint. So you have to go inside. You have to probably meditate. We do not value these things. It is only when COVID happened is when we started valuing you know the workout and the meditation and the yoga and whatnot, the mindfulness. But all of that are very essential. They are the means how you can go inside. So go inside and ask you this question: is this really what you want? Is this the career you want? You are a tester, and you somehow with the intention of upgrading your career become a tester. So is this what you sorry a scrum master? Is this really what you want? Because that's never gonna satisfy you. That will give you a job, but that's not gonna give you a fulfilling life. And so a lot of time I worked 10 years with this organization. The good people, they take care of their people, but that said, every environment can give you growth to a certain point. Beyond that, there is no answer. If you ask more questions, you probably become a troublemaker. So there is not enough growth. You end up becoming a very cynical, resigned, frustrated person. And more like garbage, you just stink. So you need to go back and think, is this really what you want? Is this really what is there in my life? So my request to you, for that you have to treasure everything that you have, and you really have to think about what a fulfilling life will look like for you. So not just a job, but a fulfilling life. From there you will start talking about, is this white collar job truly a job that I want, or it is something which has been my conditioning, my environment, how growth has been defined to me, how growth has been served, the idea of growth has been served to me, wherein that's not growth for me. When COVID happened, a lot of people felt this stress because there was no work life balance. And that's where a lot of people resigned, a lot of people went on sabbatical. So think about it, how daring it is that they didn't even want a job. They were like, we don't want this job because we want more of work life balance. And so that's where I'm saying, reflect, what is it that you want? And when you do that, you will have a lot of answers. So if we recap, how I just don't want to leave you with uh, this workshop, or I want to actually leave you with a format. You can always get started. First thing, you have to write down everything that you want. Next thing, you put all your buts, you put all your logical constraints. When you have done putting all your constraints, which are rational, real life, worldly wise, you can go back and you start writing, still what do you want? Because human brain is so very much conditioned that we first look at all the negatives. We do not take appreciation seriously. We always say, oh, you are just so kind to me. And we are taught to be humble again and again. So we don't value what we have. We always take criticism, constraints very seriously. You don't have to do that. Once you have poured all the criticism, cynicism, the logic and rational that you provide for stopping yourself, you are free. You have offloaded. So again, go back and write, what do you want? And then when you want, you just don't have to talk about the job you want. You have to talk about anything and everything you want. An extravaganza, career, travel, vehicle, house, relationship, anything that you want. And then you start writing, what is it that you have that you can offer to the world? And when I say world, I'm not talking about career. So you can say, in the career, I'm good at collaboration, co-creation. I don't know what will this give me, but yeah, these are the qualities I have. Probably you change your career absolutely from IT to something else. My career is a hybrid. I am an agile consultant. I work as a scrum master, product owner, coach. But I also run conferences, I also run meetups, because I am that kid who can actually bloom when this kid is with other kids, learning and working together. I am not the one who will just sit down alone and read those books. I enjoy doing that as well. I do need my me time, but I mostly bloom, when I am in my network, in my circle. And then your health, your uplifters are most important. You can always take feedback seriously, from your bosses, from your peers at the work, your gurus who are telling you how to improve. But it is very, very, very important to have those people who are always, having your back and seeing good in you and telling how awesome you are, even if you must be feeling like shit. So have them. Lastly, don't stay in the phone where you are, even if you love that. A lot of us love our small town and our tiny boutiques, we are working on, and that's totally cool. But don't just be an ostrich and put your head in the sand and don't look out. No, do look out. You don't know. The world is so beautiful, and you would just want to be a traveler, go there and come back to your home. And you will enjoy that experience, and you will bring so much of inspiration. I was working here on meetups, and by then I wasn't running conference, but I went to this amazing conference, XP conference in Cologne, Germany. And oh my God, that was one tipping point, that moment, that burst of inspiration that I could not hold. And I said, I'm running my conferences. In fact, I'm running the unconference, because there's this huge open space. We start from 7 a.m. and we end it by 7 p.m. And afterwards we have a party and we all stay there till 12, 1, whatever. And then again, we get up 6 in the morning, get ready, rush to the venue, and sort of start from 7 a.m. networking. Open space. Open space is a space where everyone is presenting whatever they want to present. Everyone is talking their hearts out. We have Coach Camp for that. So, go and look out, because whatever you have is already there. If you want more, you have to go out. Ask for help, invest in yourself, list down all the trainings you want, go inside, check authentically that getting that salary increase is important, becoming that manager of managers is important. Or no, I want to be an independent contributor, you know and I just want to be a technical geek. Geek. I don't want to be a manager for all the technology team. No, I don't enjoy that. I like to get my hands dirty with the code. you know so just think about that, and your path will be soon clear to you. Lastly, your job is not everything. Becoming a manager or manager of managers is not everything. This will never give you happiness. So, realizing what is more important for you will give you happiness. So, guys, you might have questioned, what will Agile Career Bootcamp give you? Today, give you. So, then after this session, we have a conversation with experts who will tell you what's new, hot, and trending. You can add that to your list, how you want to invest in yourself, what's new. You can ask them for help you need. After that, we will have a conversation with Neetu Mahajan, director of Zebia, who has been extensively hiring and looking for talent. And thanks to COVID, a lot of work must be virtual also. So she will tell you how hiring is happening in the market, good, bad, ugly, everything. And then if the hiring is not something, for example, you want to be a scrum master, but you end up in an organization where they have this so-called title, but all the work is project coordination, project management. So then how to live with that scenario? And last but not the least, thanks to Rakhi, we will talk about how we become discoverable by recruiters, and by all the job that we want to attract. So that's about this particular session, the discovery workshop. If there are questions, then please let me know. I hope when you sit down and work on this framework, and could you find some of the answers, for your discovery.
Thank you so much, Deepti. It's
Thank you.
so awesome to hear you and your advice. Now, guys, please ask questions to Deepti. Yes, feel free to ask any question.